In the history of motion pictures, only a select few performers have become immortalized by the roles they have portrayed. Consider the Vamp, the Champ, the Tramp, and now the most perfect casting of all, Steve Martin, the Jerk.
It was never easy for me. I was born a poor black child.
Meet Navin Johnson. He's poor.
You mean I'm gonna stay this color?
And he's eager.
This is the kind of music that tells me to go out there and be somebody! But Navin...
Let him go.
Traveling down that lonely road, seeking fortune.
Actual live weight guessing. Take a chance and win something.
Finding fame.
The new phone book's here! The new phone book's here!
Johnson, Navin R. Sounds like a typical...
And learning about love from a perfect master. Making new friends.
Die, milk babe!
With an instinctive flair.
He hates these cans! Stay away from the cans! I know you belong.
But despite life's cruel twists of fate.
What do you think I am, some kind of a jerk or something?
That's why I'm spearheading the $10 million class action suit against Mr. Johnson, his irresponsible selling of a product he didn't even test on prisoners.
No matter how hot the action, or how great the odds, he proved himself an inspiration to jerks everywhere.
I'm gonna buy you a diamond so big, it's gonna make you puke.
Steve Martin.
See that? Be somebody.
He may not be perfect, but he's the only jerk we've got. Steve Martin, the Jerk.
Yellow.
The Jerk.
That's right.
Steve Martin, can you tell the difference?
I am not a bum. I'm a jerk.
Win, you know. He wants to bury you, he wants to humiliate you. He wants to prove to the whole world that it was nothing but some kind of a freak the first time out.
Rocky, his whole life was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, but he's about to show the world he's 1 in a million.
Why don't you stand up and fight this guy hard like you done before? That was beautiful.
Rocky 2, the story continues.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind marrying me very much.
I do.
Thanks.
The love continues.
You're the best thing ever come my crazy life.
The courage.
The doctor said you shouldn't fight anymore.
You recommended I don't fight, and I recommend that I do.
The challenge.
I want all of America, I want the whole world to see me destroy this man after 2 short rounds.
Rocky, do you think you have a chance this time against Apollo?
I don't know, it looks pretty mad.
The hope.
I never asked you to stop being a woman, you know. Please, don't ask me to stop being a man.
The tears.
He's gonna get hurt because of you.
Well, if he goes blind, you walk away. I can't. I'm loving you!
The joy.
He's really ours? Adrian, I can't believe you've done this.
The pain.
Don't worry about nothing. You just sleep as long as you want, okay? I'm gonna be here when you wake up.
The struggles.
You go back to being a two-bit nothing.
The dreams.
I think we ought to knock his block off.
Absolutely.
15 rounds for the heavyweight championship of the world.
I think you're going to see a real great battle in every sense of the word.
That's what this fight is going to be. It's going to be a war.
You're going down, man. You're going down.
The most electrifying rematch in motion picture history. Rocky 2, starring Sylvester Stallone, Talia Shire, Burt Young, Carl Weathers, and Burgess Meredith. Rocky II. The story continues.
The time is 1893, and novelist and inventor H.G. Wells invites you to join him on a flight from London to San Francisco. In under a minute, you will be transported to a bizarre and fantastic new age. Today, time after time. For H.G. Wells, the modern world offers a spectacular array of revelations, embarrassments, and delights.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
What's up, Doc?
I beg your pardon?
You were saying? Where to?
Could you please take me as quickly as possible to the Hyatt?
But Wells has not come here as a tourist. His visit will be somewhat more dangerous. For he is pursuing Jack the Ripper, a villain who has eluded his fate by escaping into time.
90 years ago, I was a freak. Today, I'm an amateur.
I'm obliged to take you back to face the consequences of your acts.
You take me back. How do you propose to do that? By force?
Be reasonable, John. We don't belong here.
A 19th century gentleman.
What?
You don't close your eyes.
And a 20th century woman.
Well, neither do you.
Join forces to capture a criminal from the past. At large, in the modern world. But even more than they want him, he needs them.
You throw me the key, and I'll release the girl.
On your honor, John.
You have my word as a gentleman. I would have expected that you'd notice by now that I am not a gentleman. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, Herbert.
You haven't instructed him in the use of one of these machines, have you? HG, it's checkmate, and you've lost again.
A romantic adventure, a breathless chase, around the world and across a century. Time after time.
At Cape Kennedy, NASA launched the last of America's deep space probes. Aboard this compact starship, a lone astronaut, Captain William Buck Rogers, was to experience cosmic forces beyond all comprehension. His trajectory was disrupted by an explosion. In the wink of an eye, his life support systems were frozen by temperatures beyond imagination. Ranger 3 was blown out of its planned trajectory. Buck was frozen by elements so instantaneous and perfect that he was fully preserved and living when found by the forces of the Draconian army and taken aboard the King's flagship Draconia.
Where am I?
You were aboard the King's flagship Draconia, under command of the Royal Princess Ardala, on its way to Earth on a peace mission.
Oh.
Give him something for his discomfort.
Oh. Are you a real life princess?
I think we've given our captain a little too much medication.
We're going home.
Great. Where's that?
On Earth.
All right.
Put down the backgammon boards, put away the cards. Lucky Buck is back.
This is quite a setup.
It's Colonel Daring, commander of Earth's defenses. Take this barbarian in for interrogation.
Hey, wait a minute.
Captain Buck Rogers, you are now in the 25th century.
I think I will have that right now.
Are you familiar with the rock? No.
What are you doing?
It's called getting down. It's a little before your time, if it frightens you.
What is it? What's going on?
Ships. They simply explode.
That's impossible.
Captain, you stay out of this.
Try and stop me. Watch out, Major, on your tail.
Captain Rogers, I ordered you to stay out of this.
Girl, you need all the help you can get.
Buck Rogers in the 25th century. From Universal Pictures.